Hey, what's up, everyone? We're live with another Stillfleet Studio actual play stream. Today, we are streaming a game of Stillfleet, the RPG. So, thanks. We have a bunch of players who are all really fun and amazing, and been lucky enough to play with on our Discord server, where we play games pretty regularly. And we have our two GMs, Jesse and Ryan. Thanks so much for putting this together. And for a whole year, this is one of our streams celebrating the 1 year anniversary of our Open West Marches campaign, Narm, exploring this ultrastructure somewhere out in the void, a tube of black stone, a straw that goes on for light years that is full of dead ships. So this will be a sort of one-off stream with a team of voidminers exploring that structure. If you're into far future sci-fi, check it out. And the game, again, is Stillfleet. If you're interested in all our content, you can check out this YouTube channel. We have tons of videos. But today I'm just going to hand it over to Ryan and Jesse, who are going to say a little more about today's venture.
Yeah, so thank you, wife. So I'm Jesse. Today we're going to be exploring Narm, which is an ultrastructure that is about the diameter of Luna, with a braid of twisting black stone in the middle. And we have been exploring it, as I said, for about a year, and encountering a variety of structures. There are a lot of dead hulks from late Tefnian hulks and others, as well as some cities that we've explored. And the great thing about our West Marches campaign is everybody can drop in and out. So we have today a number of voidminers of varying levels. So that will be exciting to see how that plays out.
Yeah. Okay. So to get us into this venture specifically, I want to give everybody just a chance to introduce yourself and your character. But starting off, I'm Ryan, one of the GMs. We've been running this game every other week, plus some extras for nearly a year. And I think we're planning. We're in the early stages of planning an anniversary stream that's going to be excessively weird. If you like weird shit, that's Narm. So for today, right, all of you are conscripted by the company into this especially secretive mission where you live off Spindle on this ancient sort of cobbled together space station at the edge of Narm, one end of this infinitely long, as far as the company knows, tube of stone similar to Spindle. And the go down, this little space station where you all live, you never leave. Maybe your boss goes back to Spindle occasionally, but you are everything about your life is very confidential. So we've had, as Jesse mentioned, voidminers who have played off and on throughout the whole year and accrued many, many levels. Every other session that you play, you'll gain a level. And we have some newer players. For instance, Beanman just gained a second level, and Zevi is brand new. So here you're gathering, in the office, the microbasilicon, where your boss, Refactor Drumming Groan Renter, a sort of, mottled gray-green, waiting, above average height, pretty dour attitude most of the time, is studying a very thick dossier of, sort of thermally printed algae paper. And as each of you files in, they push across a table or across their desk a sort of a heavily redacted stack of papers, so that you can study what they are studying, which is your venture brief for today. So as each of you files into the room, I'd love for you to give a little character description. Tell me what you might have been up to in the past couple of days or over the course of your, contract on the Narm desk. Anything that you'd like to share with the other void miners and with the audience, please feel free. And then I'll hand it off to one player. When you're done, hand it off to another player, and we'll go like popcorn style until everybody has given a good introduction. So let's start with Cameron, because I'm interested in what Gix has been up to lately.
Thanks, Ryan. Yeah, so I'll be playing Gix Weatherspoon today. He is a human, or sorry, a Tremulant conscript. So he's from Earth originally, but was conscripted by the company to learn the hell science, and now has unlocked unthinkable, unspeakable powers within himself. And he's been working hard on the go down for a long time. The last 2 ventures ago, he lost something very precious to him, the Threnodian Prolifinizer, which he hasn't been able to get back. And this I think has been driving him a little bit insane. So he's probably going a little stir crazy in the go down without the ability to contact his patron, I guess, or one of. And he's probably been deeply meditating and using the hell science and trying to understand if he can reach out and make contact. He probably is starting to slowly isolate himself as he levels up and becomes more powerful and deepens his understanding of the hell science. He's probably isolated himself from others and focusing on that. Just for visuals, he's kind of like a 6 foot tall, gaunt, grizzly old guy wearing like a black poncho covered in tattoos and bandages, which is probably a weird thing to see inside of a space station. So that's Gix. I'll hand it over to Hans to describe Cecil next.
So yeah, next enters Cecil, who's a provincial, meaning human, not from Earth or from Spin, and he is a Razi, so like scouts, combats person, who's also been, and also a blooder, meaning he's been infected with some interesting nanotechnology, which gives some fun powers. He's been on lots of Narm ventures or jobs, so yeah, I'd like to think he's been competent enough for now, maybe not distinguished, but reliable enough to be forgiven the occasional hiccup. And lately, he's been training a small robot that he picked up on the last venture. It is currently in his backpack, but he hasn't done anything with it yet because he doesn't quite know its powers yet. It might pop up, it might not. So, and I'll hand the torch to B-Man.
Hey, you're still muted. Bean, wait. Yeah, yes.
Hi, I was muted. You can call me Bean Man. My name's John, but there's a lot of Johns in the world, and remarkably few Bean Men. I'm playing Rochella, kind of a Mulgome Lacanoid from Nazadrune, long way from home, long way from Spin, and he's a sort of a doctor. He's relatively new to this mission, but he's had a couple of interesting. He's just trying to catch up. He's still getting caught up. And you'll learn more about him, and I might slip into more of a Benoit Blanc as I tend to, but I'm going to try and keep it down here. Anyway, I'm going to toss it to Laura because you're right above me, and we'll just keep going that direction.
Sure.
So I play Alex, normal human, who, as the name implies, is actually a Wetan disguised as a human, but he kind of does not want people to really know he was born on Kalia, and from a very Wetan, like, strong family, very proud family who wants to reconquer Ur-Wetanoid, and he's actually into 90s Americana from many, 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 many years ago. So he gets everything twisted up, and he's roommate with the actual voidminer who got the RAWZ certification, whose name is actually Alex Herman Derman. But well, Alex comes with a series of badly copied merch from various bands. Right now, he's in the process of collecting end of the year songs from humans, since he's a human, and right now he's learning the lyrics to Felix Breaking Bad, which is probably very well and probably on the tune of Feliz Navidad, but I don't know. He comes along with Rudy, a brick that he tamed when he was only a Razi, and power food from his grandma's care package because he wrote her a letter because at one point we found a lot of bricks and they smelled like Caliat, basically. So he decided to get in touch with her. His abilities of disguising himself as a very, very successful human, since nobody would question like 7-foot humanoid insect eating like asbestos, but still wearing a mustache, has him turn slowly but surely towards a witness career, since obviously, he's from Spin, that's what he says. He speaks Spin with a slight accent, but he picked up Wetan like right away. He sounds like a native. It's incredible. So yeah, that's what he's doing right now with his life. And obviously, I'm going to now leave Zevi introduce themselves.
Yeah, so I have a brand new character. This is Tyr, the unhuman still writer. I imagine the general lack of appreciation for unhumans in the Co is part of why I got sent here for my very first venture. Not really a whole lot there. Came from Terra, joined the Co, and now I'm probably going to die in an ultrastructure. So let's just see how it goes.
That's just the way of the world, yeah, now that everyone is here, Drum and Groan Renter sort of, shuffling the papers around from their own dossier, their own copy, which maybe at a glance you can see is not quite as redacted, but they're guarding their copy a little bit more closely. And you all get a chance to sort of flip through the algae paper. There is like most of the sheets are just like like graphs, figures. Ooh, I've got like a sunbeam coming right in on my nose. Weird. And like hard to decipher math. It's like wavelengths and spectra and a whole lot of just measurements, basically, and a little bit of analysis. But the venture brief is pretty brief. You can read the description before Drum and Groan Renter chimes in, but they also, once they see all 5 of you in the room, which is kind of, tight, honestly, especially with an unhuman in the room, they pipe up and they say, okay, so there's a good chance, I think, what Cecil, maybe Roach, you went to the City of Scales recently. Something, there was some kind of earthquake or whatever. The seed that I guess they called it Night Mother. You can tell that Drum and Groan Renter's thoughts are a little scattered. It's been weird stuff. And even though it's been 5 days, maybe a week since the last venture left, you can tell that Drum and Groan Renter has been working pretty tirelessly, burning the candle at both ends. And they continue. So the Night Mother, right? That I guess it caused the earthquake. I don't know. We're still sorting it out. But look, and they like flip through and show you one of the figures. We figured out how to track its extra dimensional folding so that we can measure where it is, right? Before, it basically reflects no infrared radiation or anything like that, so it's really hard to track. It was inert forever, and then it started moving towards the City of Scales. Anyway, sorry. We figured out how to track it, and then like almost immediately, another copy showed up. But we kept monitoring it, and it became clear over a couple of days that this is not a different object. It's the same Night Mother. They are, making the same readouts, but like time dilated. Like this new one must be so far away, like farther away than anything we've ever measured in Narm. Like, I don't know how we are able to make any measurements that resolve from as far away as this thing must be given the time dilation, right? The confusion for this is, what if they start doing different things? So we need you to go to Night Mother that's at the City of Scales, and plant a disambiguation device. It's gonna, it's just like a signal ping that we can track very easily, very like tidy, and that way we know which Night Mother is doing which thing if they start doing different things. So hopefully that's pretty simple enough, right? When we sent a couple of specialists recently, they had no trouble breaking into Night Mother. They just got apprehended immediately and lost their memories or something, but not all of them. So anyway, it's in the reports for you to go through at your leisure. Any questions?
I suppose I have a question. It's you said it's in two places at the same time, but one of them's so far away that it appears to be. Is it moving so fast that it appears to be two places at once? How? I suppose that's the question, isn't it?
It is a question. And maybe that's part of the confusion. It seems neither is moving, but one is very far away.
I guess it's time to go find out.
Yep, that's the job. So yeah, for each of you, there is a copy of the venture brief contract, something for you to sign and hand over to Drum and Groan Renter. Standard terms apply, right? It's the Narm desk bonus. You get paid a little bit more for working on this, especially like tightly controlled, secretive project, the Narm desk. And in this case, they think it's going to be pretty straightforward. There's no like, hazard pay appended to this contract.
And do we know who made Night Mother? Is it Leif Tefnian or some other provenance?
Yeah. So some of this you would know, if you're like paying attention to the gossip on the go down, or if you're like really reading closely the like reports that are handed in by other voidminers. This is like really awkward. The provenance of Night Mother seems to be different from anything else anyone has measured before. But the last void miners to visit it after it like arrived at the City of Scales, seemed to interpret it as bug tech. They observed a couple of what they described as chitinauts. They looked vaguely Wetanoid. They had similar characteristics, but were very distinct from like Wetans. But maybe they share some type of like very distant ancestor, something like that. When they broke into Night Mother, one of the voidminers reports stealing something and then immediately being extracted from Night Mother via the Hell Science. And another of the voidminers lost all memory of Night Mother. So the implication there is bug tech. It's very advanced, but also Hell Science. They're purveyors of the weird.
Sounds like a pretty simple mission. Drop off a beacon. What could go wrong?
Oh, right. So here's the device. Once you get it in there, just put it under something, put it someplace nobody's going to notice it, and flip the switch. And Drum and Groan Renter has like pulled out sort of shoddy shoebox of basically like pressed leaf litter, which contains just a like bare circuit board, basically of not printed but like handmade circuitry, which will emit a pulse when it's activated. So they like push it across the desk, sort of expecting someone to pick it up. Who wants to take the disambiguation signal generator?
Also, bureaucracy question, is Alex Normal a human highest ranking now that he's a witness?
Yeah, I think the witness is going to be responsible for the report in this case, without a factor.
I might be the one with the high. I might be the best with technology if I've got 10 plus 1 reason. So I guess I can handle the device. Unless anyone else has a...
I'd be honored, but Cameron, I'm very sad you lost your show the other time. So maybe you want to hold the device because you like devices with complicated names?
Thank you for thinking of me, and I guess he reluctantly takes it from you.
Is it the same as the that you lost?
No.
It's kind of the same. No?
But thank you.
It is the same, though. It is the same.
But it is not, but thank you.
I'll put that down in my report.
He puts it by his feet for later.
There you go. Okay, so anything that you'd like to do to prepare, please feel free. Let us know. But also, getting to the City of Scales to reach Night Mother could be done a few ways. There are wayworks, sort of shoddy, archive-built, portable, temporary stiffworks, which have been planted in the City of Scales. If you were to use one of those, there would be some travel through the City of Scales that's necessary. But it would be like, instantaneous travel to get there. You also may use the sort of shuttle that the company has made a deal with. This is a late Tefnian sort of just, transport vessel, Sepidin class, very small, looks like a red cuttlefish, that is called Nettle Shield. Nettle Shield, you've all met at least once because he scooped you up from the Stiffworks that links back to Spindle. I lost the name. Jesse, do you remember what it's called?
I'm sorry, which?
The Stiffworks that the company discovered Narm by.
Oh.
Hang on a sec. I'll find it.
Wythe put in chat that it's the Baleful Core.
The Baleful Core. Oh, thanks, Wythe. Thanks for listening in. Yes, the Baleful Core. So when you first signed on to the Narm desk, the company sent you down to the far bays and activated a Stiffworks for you to jump through. And you found yourself floating in the void at the end of an impossibly long, straw of Blackstone. And then a little red cuttlefish ship, the size of a bus, scooped you up and in his Australian-ish accent, talked to you about gossip from 5,000 years ago, and offered to be your friend. This is the Nettle Shield, and he is always willing and able to shuttle you around in near Narm, as long as it doesn't take too long to get there, because he can travel at near light speed. But I guess without a Banshee in the group, the Nettle Shield is probably the right choice. Or you could sort of, tap someone who lives on the go down to be like, activate the Stiffworks for you before you leave.
Who here has been to Night Mother before or entered Night Mother? Show of hands.
I think none of you.
I've been to the City of Scales, but I have not been on the Night Mother. Our mission was to go to the Night Mother, but things did go sideways very quickly.
That's right. Right. Cecil and Rochella were trying to get to Night Mother, or trying to get a read on Night Mother before it arrived at the City of Scales, but were waylaid by the city itself attacking someone. So it was Simon, Mike, and Verdant Bundle Swimmer who actually got onto Night Mother, although one of them doesn't remember it. I think it was Simon. Had his memories fogged. Yeah. What do y'all think? Which method of getting to the City of Scales would you like to use?
I think the shuttle sounds like a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Otherwise,
Nettle Shield it is.
it would have to pick us up on the way back anyway, without a Banshee.
Yep, that's a fair point.
A point of order. I mean, you said anything we want to do to prepare.
Yeah.
I'd been bugging Imago to try and get myself a gray sensor. I think that I just walk up to her desk. I've been, trying to. Maybe she's just, I'll work on getting you one, whatever. I walk up to her desk and I just set down a little hazard bag with a bend jar containing like a gibbering mass of like bioresin goo, and I say, "Hey, you speak Chinnish?" Because I don't, but I think this does.
Excellent. Yeah. Okay. So Imago, I guess has made preparations. Wythe says that you can have the gray sensor, and Imago is delighted to have this weird sample. Imago's sort of office. Imago is the senior archivist on the Narm desk, so sort of every decision goes through her, and she dictates a lot of the like sort of research and sort of the high priority cases that the Narm desk deals with. And so she's been, sorting out samples from, say, the City of Scales recently, because I think a few were collected, and this and that in her lab. Otherwise, spends a lot of her time sort of bioengineering small rodents without heads to have other technological capabilities. And this new goo is enticing for her. So that's a good trade, I guess, for her. Yeah, otherwise, you can head to the Nettle Shield, and as you each board the Nettle Shield, he offers you a seat. It's really a good idea to use the specialized seats, because when Nettle Shield accelerates to near light speed, it will pulverize you if you're not cushioned properly. He's just asking you for the latest gossip, and most recently he talked to who you maybe have gleaned was once a romantic partner, consort. So maybe he's asking for your gossip, but really he wants to know about consort, if anybody has heard from her. But you probably don't know. Anyway, eventually you start to approach the City of Scales. It doesn't take very long, a couple of hours. It takes longer to accelerate and then decelerate than it does to cross the thousands, tens of thousands of kilometers, hundreds of thousands. I can't remember exactly. That's in my notes someplace. Let's see.
Well, while we're on our way, I want to ask, say, Gigs, could I have a look at the device? And I would like to roll reason to see if it really is just a signal emitter, or something else is up.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, make a reason check. Standard, 6+ is enough.
Roll the 1.
Okay.
Yep.
So something we've been doing lately is on a 1, you typically would fail your check, but if you want to trade that in for a consequence and an insight or clue, then we could go that way.
Yeah, let's keep it interesting. What would be an interesting consequence on me fumbling the device?
You could break it. You walk back into the office. I did an oopsie. Can I get another?
Or could it shock me?
Yeah, let's I like the idea of it shocking you, but let's amp it up. Maybe it is fusing to your nanites.
Yeah. So I gain an insight, but also it's stuck to me.
Yeah. So you know exactly what it does. It's going to emit a tachyon pulse, at a timed interval, so that the company or that's monitored on the go down, and drones in near Narm are able to sort of trace its position, and thereby its movement. It does what Drum and Groan Venture told you it would, basically.
Okay. Good news. Nothing sinister up to now. Bad news. It's stuck to my arm. Probably won't get into way of anything, but I'll figure out how to
Do you
get
need
it
a
unstuck
hand with that?
once we get there. Yeah, just here.
Can I roll to assist to remove it?
Definitely. I think it's going to take a very difficult, so a 9+ reason to use tech check to sort of like get it apart without damaging it.
Yeah, maybe I'll say here, hold it down, or can you give me a hand here, here, and I'm just gonna roll it flat because I think it'll be interesting either way. Should I just roll this in the Narm chat, I guess?
Yeah, that can work.
Yeah. Just a good old D10 plus 1. I rolled a 10.
Oh, all right. Yeah. I think you managed to separate it. How does that go? What do you
Maybe
what does it entail?
Doesn't the Grace is the Grace sensor like a backpack with like robot arms for helping to collect samples or something like that? How does that work? Do we know that? I know it's like it works as a kind of like smoker of some sort to preserve things, but doesn't it have some sort of like assist function too for gathering samples? Maybe I can use my new tool.
Yeah.
I literally have it like assist me in plucking it off, like little robot arms help me to.
Right, that's perfect. Yeah. White says feel free to make up the look and feel. But yeah, it's described as a smoker / digital scale / robotic surgery assistant. So I think it is perfectly suited to this type of a task. Yeah. So you're very good at this. Cecil's arm is freed from the disambiguation sensor generator. Signal generator, DSG.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah. And
Here we go, Geeks.
As you approach the City of Scales, why doesn't everybody make a will to perceive check? While you're traveling through the space of near Narm, strapped into your sort of cushioned seats, you've started to decelerate, so you're sitting now with your backs towards your destination. But Nettle Shield has some viewports, might be able to generate an image of the exterior where it's traveling. While everybody is making a will check to notice something, you're just about to arrive. It is, you're decelerating finally. It will not be to perceive danger.
Okay.
To a comment in
10 out of 12
private chat. Did I get 2 1s on that? 4 is better, but I think it's gonna. Okay, we've got two 10s, Alex and Roach, and maximum on the die for Tier. So it doesn't go unnoticed that as you approach the City of Scales, where Night Mother is described as being, this black sort of seed shape perched atop a spire in the. We routinely describe the City of Scales as being Madagascar-sized, sort of island of chitinous, Wetanoid body parts built into buildings and skyscrapers and grand temples and sort of urban architecture. This spire jutting out of sort of near the center. The location where you expect to see Night Mother, which doesn't reflect a lot of infrared or anything like that, so you don't necessarily expect to see it on a glance, but sort of being cognizant of where you expect it to be, maybe you're pointing pointing it out to the Nettle Shield and measuring based on the figures in your dossier, but Night Mother doesn't seem to be there anymore. The City of Scales has been abandoned by Night Mother. But then I think as you're sort of, very near the city, Gix in particular has made a connection with someone here before, which I think she might sort of pipe up. Jesse, is there anything that Exalted Nestweaver would say to Gix just because he's close by?
You finally returned.
Apologies, Exalted One. I've been waylaid. The Gix, from his intense time interacting with Exalted Nestweaver, one of his tattoos has started to glow green over time and is continuing to grow. And this is giving him some ability, limited ability without the polyphonizer of like communicating with E&W. But anyways, he continues. My apologies for not returning. It is the greatest fault of mine. Please forgive your lowly servant.
She sort of, you're like, oh, I guess she's thinking about it. She's gonna, is she gonna forgive me? But she's like, it's all right. I think you would have been useful the last time some of your cohort were here, but I am glad to see you are well. And then I think your tattoo glows a little bit more. It's probably really painful. But you get the sense that maybe you can communicate with her a little bit better, like or maybe from further distance or something. She's done something with this tattoo as a boon in her mind.
Yeah. Hopefully the members of the company did not harm you when they during their last outing.
She laughs as though anybody could ever harm her, and sort of is like, well, at least they made some right decisions.
Although they did bring a bivector knife, which dismantled some of the dimensions of, a large portion of the City of Scales as it fell. So, they did some damage.
Yeah, they definitely did. I just don't think Exalted Nestweaver is going to comment on that because she's not
so
gonna admit that she had a moment of weakness. Plus, she fixed it. So
yeah, there you go.
So there's not currently just a large landing area that's just like Toontown, like two-dimensional kind of like.
Yeah, so that's a great question. So the last time we came here, somebody had a very dangerous weapon that did start reducing parts of the city into 2 dimensions. It might be interesting to know if that she was able to do a lot of repairs, and it wasn't really that long ago. But for those of you who have been to the City of Scales multiple times, it's grown each time you've been there. And it appears that something in the structure of it is able to do a lot of sort of self-rebuilding, although that area is always going to be damaged. Yes.
Just extra dimensionalize the parts that were lower dimensionalized. It's fine. It's fine.
You just shove them into a bag.
Somewhere out in the Escher-esque just got shoved into 3 space. a couple days ago, maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
The knife went into the Escheresk somewhere.
Yeah, we'll figure that out later. It's fine.
Right. If Exalted Nestweaver isn't concerned about it, then no reason for you to be. But yeah, here you are. And Nettle Shield eventually offers to sort of dock into the City of Scales. He would build a little airlock so that you could enter the city safely. But yeah, how is everyone preparing to get to the City of Scales? Or is there anything you want to do to try and figure out where Night Mother might be instead?
I was going to ask Exalted Nestweaver if they know anything about where Night Mother was, I guess.
Yeah, so, there you go.
Should I roll charisma, or we could just talk it out?
Yeah, I think let's make a roll.
Sorry, I have to. Cool. An 8 on a D8.
So I think she'll tell you what she knows. Ryan, do you want to kind of pick up from what she's able to tell you?
Yeah. So at the very least, she knows that she called for Night Mother to come and sort of like activate something. I think she's pretty vague about like what that means. She knows what it means, and she doesn't really know how to explain it to you, I think, maybe is what you would get from that. But she knows that that Night Mother is like still where it's supposed to be. It hasn't gone anywhere. It hasn't moved. I think she'll like tell you anything, but it takes some like puzzling through like to interpret what she means. But she's like talking about this activation, sort of like been getting ready for this, and like her goals. She might have talked about her goals before, and it seemed like she was like building this city out for some purpose, right? And it seems like she has like achieved that, and then she needed Night Mother to just sort of like kickstart it. And
was that successful and they have gone?
It definitely was successful, right? She's just like talking glowingly about like, you know, all of her progress and all of her work, and she's like done it. She, you know, got there. And Night Mother doesn't have to leave. Like, there's no reason for them to leave, although they have like done what they need to do. But it doesn't seem like it would be possible either. She's like saying sort of things that seem contradictory, but yeah.
So Hans had a good question in the chat about whether any of this was visible. So Gix is probably glowing green a little bit, which is unusual, and probably muttering to himself. So you guys probably do notice something is going on, though you probably aren't learning this directly. Although I think at this point Gix would say something like, Night Mother's still here somewhere. They haven't left as far as I can tell. And then he kind of stares off into space.
Since nobody else needs Rochella's like therapy listening service during the long trip. He's just like, once again, like probably like uh not humoring isn't the right word, but just like letting the nettle shield just like dump on him, like info dump on him. Wow, that must have been, I wouldn't say difficult because you are a very capable machine, but it certainly would have been difficult for someone like me. Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, so millions of years, you say, oh my gosh. Like, kind of, I think, because last time I got sucked into a conversation with the nettle shield. I think I'm slowly just becoming the nettle shield's therapist, um, for the AI, and that's what you'll hear in the background during all that. Because I'm not privy to, I don't think we're privy to your mental conversation with Exalted Nestweaver. So you just hear in the background the ship AI babbling on while Rochella very patiently, yeah, with unconditional positive regard, which is the only part of therapy that he's mastered, but maybe not mastered. That's not maybe the right word. So yeah, as a therapist, it isn't really my job to fix people's problems. It's just to let them fix their own problems. I just listen patiently. Yeah. Wow. That's just in the background. Yeah. Until we land, and then he's like, he gets out of the ship. He's just like, okay.
And Nettle
Yeah.
Shield definitely, throughout that conversation, insists that he doesn't need therapy, but is happy to talk to you for the entire trip.
Yeah, like maybe he knows people who could use therapy, and like he'd ask questions on their behalf sometimes.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. I am curious to know what Tyr is feeling about all of the things that you've seen so far.
Honestly, this is a little different from home, obviously, and I'm probably sticking a little bit close with Rochelle right now on account of we're the only two non-humans. Really kind of makes it hard to get along with people. Other than that, it's just kind of silently observing in the back, letting others, when the sky falls, the tall people will carry it. I'm very short.
Excellent. Okay, so yeah. Eventually, Nettle Shield, offering to dock with the City of Scales, says, there's nothing else that I can do. Got you there, and that's, despite me, my moniker, of War Machine. The old guys, they never felt right to equip me with any of the implements of war. So I got you here. That's as much as I can do.
And it is a job you've done spectacularly, and I will be counting on you to get me back.
And you can almost feel his cheeks warm, if he had cheeks. In the
absolutely buttering up this
compliment.
AI.
Yeah. And yeah, so when you dock with the City of Scales, something else changes. Jesse, can you tell us why is the surroundings like jarring and suddenly feel different, as everyone else needs to make a will to resist world roll?
Yes, so a number of you have been to the City of Scales, as we've said, and even if on other missions that have not been to the City of Scales, you've essentially explored, huge distances of Narm, but a relatively small area, relative to the, as far as we know, infinite length of Narm. And it's looking different than you've ever seen it. It's much, much darker. And I'm going to just make a quick little roll here. So some of you, I think, have been to the area that leads up to kind of a darkness, a more dark area of Narm. I want to say Gix and Cecil have been to sort of this sort of end point in the straw where you were seeing this odd like twinkling and a shift in the way that the knots in the center of Narm were interacting with the ultrastructure as a whole, sort of this emptiness, whereas like many of the places you've seen are full of hulks. You're sort of, it's so there is a real sense of even deeper void here, that you're not seeing anything that you would expect around the City of Scales. You're seeing this, the braid in the center is more frayed. You're seeing these sort of wisps of it coming up. And whoever, so I'm looking at your rolls now. Those of you who did not pass a 6, so I believe that's great. Zevi, Alex, normal human. Is that all?
Meets it, right?
Okay, so everybody except for Gix, is that right?
And B-Man, he got 6.
Okay, great. So those of you who got under a 6, you're feeling this like sickly kind of twitchy burning, even though you're wearing enviro suits, and it's extremely extremely disconcerting. Anything else?
But it sounds like it's not causing actual harm, just like sensation.
It's not causing harm right now.
Right now. Oh.
Are those of us who resisted it still aware that we resisted it? Like, we're still aware that...
I think in some way, right. There isn't a lack of awareness, right, that the space is different. You're just not like succumbing to this overwhelming sort of
unease.
Discomfort. Yeah.
Any kind of insight role I should be, or not, wrong term, wrong game, but any kind of role I should be making if I want to figure out what's going on to the people who are maybe a bit more affected?
Yeah, I think especially as a peer, there's a particular type of curiosity that you would probably have to sort of examine the situation. So I think a sort of like reason to make like some type of investigation. You're asking your party members about how they're feeling, and sort of like in examining the environment, inside and out of Nettleshield. So I think a 7, a difficult reason check would be. Yeah,
it's a 7 plus 8. It's a 7 plus 1 and 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. This is some sort of extra dimensional effect. There are more dimensions here than you're used to.
This is
it's
this is
screwing
something
people up.
similar to like an Escher-esque nausea, but maybe a little less severe.
Yeah, it's a little bit more specific, I think.
Okay.
That's the way I would put it.
Yeah, I was wondering if it did translate as like very mild pain, but also the inability to focus for the moment, because that'd be terrible for Alex not to be able to focus.
So I think, if you let this go on, those of you who are affected by it, you do get the sense that it could be physically harmful. Soon, but up to, I think you're gonna have essentially disadvantage on rolls until you get this sorted out.
Can I lead them through a breathing exercise?
I'd love to do a breathing exercise, even if it doesn't help.
Ooh, I just need you to breathe with me here for a second. Just kind of center yourself in the moment. You are here. You are here. Not anywhere else. Well, maybe possibly other places. The world is complex, but I need you to focus in this 3-space coordinate that we find ourselves in. Yes. You are you, and I am me, and that is what we will axiomatically accept as truth. Am I doing a good job?
If I don't have lungs and I'm not sure does that work? Can I breathe?
Like, compress it.
Like if my
compress.
Yeah.
Draw air across the portions of your body that intake whatever vital gas you require, and expel them as necessary for a process of, transpiration or whatever you might do. And just cycle that a few times. Yeah, slowly. As is appropriate to your body plan.
I love this. And I want to respect this as a choice of how to deal with this. So I think everybody who does the breathing exercises, you still have to roll with disadvantage, but roll another will check. To see if this works. And you can get a +1 on the result for the breathing exercises that were done that were led so well.
To boost it, I would need to boost it 2 times, right?
Because you have a 4?
For disadvantage.
For disadvantage.
Is that how that works? I thought you'd roll twice, take the lower, and add your boost. But
yeah, maybe I'm confusing it with another situation where, some of my abilities I have to roll twice, but have to boost. Yeah,
we can always talk about it later to get your grit topped off. It's fine. We can always talk about it later.
I'll just boost it for 3 once then.
Sorry to hear about Alex's lungs that you definitely have because you're a very normal human.
I think I coughed, but I tried to pretend I was coughing like a human with muscles and things I don't really have. So that's what caused this failure.
I would say that Rochella is he's a Mulgolem. He is some kind of lichenoid of descended from humans in some way, but fused with both fungus, bacteria, and algae, if you will. So I don't know how much he actually breathes. He might have some kind of gill system internally. He's just Most of you sapients need to breathe. I'm aware of that.
Yeah, and although I think this group doesn't have any informatics, that's a perfectly normal thing. But I think sort of in the multi-species, sort of wider diversity of the setting, certain words start to change their meanings, right? And breathing doesn't necessarily mean like intake air to your lungs. It's like, whatever sort of simple biological or informatic process that you use to sort of give yourself a little time and grounding to process things better. I think paying too close attention to certain things in such a weird setting is, especially Narm, but Stillfleet more broadly, is entertaining, but gets you away from the role play pretty fast. Anyway, as you go through your breathing exercise, some of you, I think, make a better attempt at resisting the brining space that you are in. Maybe everybody rolled worse, but at the very least, Nettle Shield has noticed something and is pointing out, that there's Nettle, or there's Night Mother. It's still in place. Maybe I missed something when I was looking before, but there it is. It's it's going to be just a short jaunt up this spire. So I guess y'all can get to it.
All right. As the Razi, I'll lead the party. Up the spiral, you say? So I know the direction.
Yeah, up. It isn't like, I mean, the architecture, the bioarchitecture, the antchitecture, as was posited by the chat, is sort of like strange and capacious and full of like weight and mandibles and feet and bug pieces, but the actual like wayfinding in the city, it can be really vague. So as long as you go up, eventually you'll reach the Night Mother. However, as you leave, something is different about this space. So you leave the Nettle Shield, and no longer does your skin feel like it's pickling, for those of you who did not resist. But now, Jesse, what is different about the space immediately inside the spire? Oh, you're muted.
Sorry. So here you're seeing, so whereas much of the, except for a couple times, you're always in this this circular structure of Narm with this braid in the center of it. But here and there where you are, you're seeing parts of the ultrastructure that seem to be almost worn through. I mean, this is stone that's very similar to spindle. So this is very strange to see almost these patches coming through. And you can here and there see stars. You're all wearing your suits, which is great.
Can we take a pause on the geography of where we are quickly? So are we inside the city of Scales, or on the outside climbing up the spire? Or I guess, where am I seeing these patches?
So as you're looking towards the where you would expect to see Narm, as you know
okay.
it. Does that make sense?
So from inside the city looking out,
Gotcha.
I think, yeah. Because in every direction you would look, you're enclosed in a cylinder. In every direction you would look, you would expect
Gotcha.
to see, the black stone of
But okay,
Narm.
gotcha.
Yeah, B-Man, cartography is harder and stranger even than the last time you tried to
Some
use your...
non-Euclidean geometry going on here.
Yeah, exactly.
I took a couple trips through things that we decided to start calling goomatic. I guess I decided to start calling them goomatic tubes. Somebody said they're like pneumatic tubes full of goo. I said goomatic tubes. So are there any goomatic tube nodes coming and going? Am I getting a sense of those still being accessible? Any kind of like, I guess I'm looking at like what the sort of like flow and movement, and if that's like changed, and if that's anything that I can sort of track, and if that can even help us maybe get where we're going faster. Because walking on foot might not necessarily be intuitive, but the goo has to get where it's going, right?
Sure. I like this idea. Yeah,
Almost a medical sort of like
right, because you're inside of some kind of biological being. The City of Scales is like one, organism. So yeah, I think that stands to reason. The bioarchitecture is basically what you expect from where or when you visited the last time. It shares all the same features. It just it's experiencing some extra dimensions sometimes, it seems like. And if you want to find the goomatic tubes, the goomatic I was going to say circulatory system. That's not exactly it,
system,
but yeah, something like that, that connects places in a city. I think that's easy to do. But it might take a good deal of time to sort of like
start
understand.
taking notes.
Yeah, understand like exactly how to use it to your advantage.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I have just one little question. It seems to me that we're in Wetton-like architecture kind of thing. Can I either assist Rochella or try to find my way through my unusual knowledge of very similar type of places?
Yeah, I think that you're picking up on something that you might be uniquely suited for as a perfectly normal human. So give me I think just a like will to perceive roll. This is going to be easy. So just need a 5 or better. And are you still suffering from... No, wait. We've left brining space. 6?
Sorry, I rolled a 6. Yeah, sorry.
Fantastic. You're picking up some like pheromone signals, right? The Wetanoid architecture has some kind of some aspect of its biology seems to be similar enough to your human physiology, and so you can sort of augment your senses with like pheromone detection in the way that like RASP has these like pheromone layers that add to meaning when you use the sort of clicking mandible mouth parts. And I think that clues you into a way to sort of ask the city to do things as though it were technology. And so you can sort of interface in a pheromonal way with the wall. You walk up to a wall and you ask it for an interface, and it sort of like pops out these little like troughs for you to place your human antennae into these little troughs, and just exchange some pheromones and ask it for specific things.
City?
Just scribbling furiously.
Yeah.
City, can you nettle shield us? Like, do you see what I mean? Like, offer us a...
And without anything in the space changing around you, you understand sort of like the quickest path, and you can tell Roach how to use the Goomatic system, with a lot more sort of like intuitive know-how. So you can get around in the city much more easily, but also in communicating with the city, you're learning about how to get around because that's what you ask for specifically, but you're also learning that that's more complicated on this side. And again, it's kind of vague. You're speaking indirectly with Exalted Nestweaver, as Gix did, and sometimes the like ego of that person starts to like seep into the very like direct and straightforward like intuition about how to use what is like technological about the city's architecture. It's all sort of like layering in ways that you don't really have to spend effort to decipher, but once you try to, you confuse yourself. Does that make sense?
Just try to like think about don't think about breathing, kind of like suddenly that becomes complicated. Don't think about like where your tongue is in your mouth, or else you'll be thinking about that all day.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I ask the city more specific questions? Like, are there other living creatures or non-rutabaga creatures? I still have my brick.
Jesse, did you have something?
Oh yeah, well, I think the city would respond, especially to Alex, normal human. We are so glad to see a new Waiton joining us. And then you're sort of feeling this, I mean, I don't know how you feel about how it keeps calling you a Waiton, but you feel your mind like being pushed a little bit to go deeper in the city. Let's be more a part of the city.
So for me, is that to go away from Night Mother, basically? You're being invited elsewhere?
This is the city. Be with the city.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's not currently like, this isn't mind control. You can decide not to be part of the city, whatever that means. But I think you would recognize nobody else seems to be hearing this, or feeling this like gentle push.
I'm fairly sure that maybe my co-workers will pick up on me caressing the walls and like singing songs in rasp, like in perfect rasp. That maybe that's going to be a little strange, or stranger than usual. But yeah, I'm going to be part of the city for a little while. I'm feeling nostalgic for the moment, so yeah.
That's beautiful. Well, the city starts harmonizing. Everybody can hear it.
Like, is the city taking me someplace? Like, driving me further away from my coworkers, or not, or
So in the past, and I'll just give you this bit of information because you would have read it in dossiers from other colleagues who would have seen the City of Scales a while back when it was smaller. Waytons in particular seem to be compelled at times to go to the city, and the city is kind of made of Waytons, right? And so I think, but it seems like that the city is much smaller then, right? And it was building. It seems interested in you now, and it's like liking this singing, but it's not trying to turn you into a zombie or part of the city currently. Does that sound fair, Ryan?
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Yeah, you can kind of like get the distinction of like descriptions of other from other void miners that like felt like compulsions, and you're getting like suggestions, and the aim doesn't exactly line up, but there's some kind of similarity, like there's a link there without thinking about it too hard. But I
remember the cubes.
Yeah. But no one's like moving you around. The city isn't like changing shape or anything. Just kind of like giving you suggestions. Yeah, how is everyone else seeing what's happening there? And I think at any point, Gix could also sort of ask Exalted Nestweaver questions at this point. Anyway, turn it over to y'all.
Well, I'm furiously taking notes. I have an inkling of a thing I could maybe do, but I kind of want to see I want to give everyone else a shot at this first. Maybe somebody else has yeah.
It sounds like we have a way to go, so I don't think I need to interact with Exalted Nestweaver right now unless we get into a bind.
All right, so the sort of overarching goal of get to Night Mother is still the like animating, force, so to speak. Maybe that's not the right word, but you know what I'm trying to get to. Everybody's kind of got a quest, and they're just going for it, and that means go up. And Alex, normal human, has figured out the easiest ways to go up. So. The sort of inertia of the group takes you up until something happens. I think, are we going to do, let's do another Will to Resist world again. As when you, step off of a staircase in sort of elaborate, decorations in the hallway all seem to stop abruptly. You step off the staircase, and the space around you seems to be adjusting quickly, and it can't, or you can't, sort of keep your footing for just a brief moment. And so everyone, a Will to Resist world, and 6 or better, you kind of catch your footing again and shake it off. And you're in this sort of wide hallway with no adornment, very smooth. Like you have to look very closely to see the sort of places where the chitinous plates overlap and look knit together at their edges. But it looks like Alex and Rochella and Tyr are not feeling so great. This is an aesthetic metaquake. Your character concept inverts. if you are an Angly Fleet or Chandler, for example, you are now a Zen or clown-like alien warrior or healer. If you are a bookish shoot the peer, you are now a bro-ish human warrior or greedy merchant. So everyone else is seeing something happen to Tyr, to Rochella, and to Alex.
Well, so
yeah, tell me about it.
My character probably falls flat on his face in his big, set of armor, and then stands up and now has a bit of a cheerful and boyish grin on his face, as opposed to the more serious and dour look he'd been sporting previously.
I'm trying to think what the inverse. I don't think that Rochella has a lot of like extreme qualities, so he's just going to go from a slightly snarky, like just slightly. I don't know. Like it's a subtle one, but maybe he's a little, or maybe he's a lot more callous. I don't know.
He's got a New York accent
Or
now instead of a Southern
you know
accent.
what? He suddenly is remarkably uncurious. We'll say that.
I think that Alex is going to fall on his knees, gather some grime on the floor, and kind of go like this, go full John Rambo, and now he's going to talk exclusively in Wetan, saying things like en ville, c'est toi qui fais la loi. Ici, c'est moi. I don't think that many people understand Wetan, so yeah, he's going to splurt things out
the
now.
rasp language. They're chittering.
My rasp language. Yep.
Yeah.
He's holding Ruby in his hand in a way that does not suggest he is kindly, loving, handling his pet. So, yeah, I'm afraid for her personally.
Can we roll reason to, or understand what happens? Is this something that happens periodically in space?
This is definitely not something that just happens. So yeah, unless Jesse has a more concrete idea about how to put together what's happening here, I'll let you roll reason. I think it would need to be maybe it could be kind of graded, standard success of 6 or better gets you very small clue, very difficult 9 better is kind of a hint, lead you in the right direction, or impossible, nearly impossible. 12 or better is you've got all the detail that you need. Oh, okay. Both of these are great, right? Gix is I guess for the stream, I got rolls from Cecil and from Gix. Cecil got a 14 and Gix got a 7. Gix, you kind of put it together the dimensions here are more. You've heard about maybe there's something going on in different parts of Narm with different dimensions. You heard about, or maybe, no, I think you heard about a time when there wasn't a hole, but the hole was already there, and then they blew up the wall. So there's something going on with the time. Maybe this is like that a little bit. As for Cecil, you've apparently been through it, and you immediately recognize that this is just a different part of Narm. This is not the Green Ring. You're in far deep Narm, where the dimensions are volatile and reactive, and they're colliding with one another inside the Hellstraw. The Hellstraw still inert, right? Who knows how far down the Hellstraw you are, but somehow this city of scales is, you know, millions, billions of light years past the you know, farthest known piece of Narm, the Beyond Ring. I think even on a 14, you understand that, or what Exalted Nestweaver's goal was, and it, you know, the like grand project of Exalted Nestweaver in building the City of Scales was to sort of attach itself in two places on Narm at the same time.
All right. So that would have looked like suddenly the Cecil's fellow void miners completely transformed. His hand flashes towards his sword because he doesn't know, are these still the same people? And then he realizes, yeah, they still occupy the same time space, metaphysical identity somehow. So back
Show us
defaults
easy
to
looking at. He's like, what are you looking at? I don't know if I like
somehow
the way you
new
look.
colleagues, but still to be treated collegially.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, shit, we just moved.
Tyr, are you feeling okay?
I'm actually feeling a lot better than I was earlier. Just calmer, you know? A little happier. Really feels like a weight was taken off my shoulders. That said,
Tired of this crap.
is there any way for us to get back to where we're supposed to be? I feel like we're a little bit off track now.
That's a great question. I think that's what we'll be working on for the next 2 hours or so. I think I'm gonna suggest this is a pretty good cliffhanger to like lead us into the second half of our venture. So let's take 10 minutes, a little intermission, and regroup at about 5 till you know, whatever hour, wherever time zone you are, yeah, we'll see what it's like here on the other end of Narm.
Awesome.
Yeah, 12 minutes, right? I rounded up.
Sounds great.
Okay, thanks y'all once again. See you all soon.
Thanks.
I don't think that I'm actually getting redder, but my camera might think I am.
All right, so it looks like we are still waiting on 2. So how's everything going for everybody? We feeling good about the game so far?
Yeah, it's been really fun.
Okay, cool. It's a weird one. I think the second half has a little bit more action.
Yeah, I'm realizing that dumping Will really did not help at all when there's a lot of weird effects going on.
Yeah, in this particular circumstance, definitely not helpful.
I haven't had a chance to use it yet, but the advanced skill that I picked up at level 2 was switch gears that allows you to swap stats.
Very good.
So I don't know if this is the moment where he's actually like learning how to swap his reason for combat. That's him getting like less curious, more shoot first, ask questions later.
Yeah.
Maybe if this isn't permanent, maybe you'll learn how to tap into that. Just need to go back to that headspace for a second and become unreasonable.
Yeah, switch gears is great. Yeah, and I love having that sort of narrative justification for that type of a power. It's great.
Yeah, it just lined up.
It did. We've had a lot of sort of like surprisingly natural sort of like narrative for like gameplay or character decision sort of things lining up like that across the year. Narm has been a really cool campaign. So anyway, now that we've got everybody back, everybody feeling good? All right, wonderful. So let's get back to it. I think I'm going to turn it over to Jesse for just a little bit to just sort of set the scene, see where everybody's at in the City of Scales. Sound good, Jesse?
Sure. So, I mean, I would love to hear from the players about what their thoughts are on their next moves. Maybe a discussion about the current situation as you understand it. Since we've had a couple of folks making rolls to try to understand it.
Yeah, Cecil is still focused on the mission. Like, we're somewhere different. People change, but so yeah, it would go like Alex, anti-Alex, whatever. Do you still know the best way to get the Night Mother?
Yes, although now maybe Alex's priorities are to, I don't know, like kill non-weapons, like harm them because they're not like me. There's something very strange and like dark, like stirring into Alex. So I'm going to bring you to Night Mother, but maybe not for the same reasons as.
Okay. However much of that was out loud, that's good enough for me for now.
I'll tolerate the presence of these filthy non-waitings, but only until I get what I want. That's sort of that's not me in character. That sound like my character voice, didn't it? Is that kind of the vibe we're getting?
From Alex, definitely. But he
Yeah.
also wants to celebrate and do like very weapon specific things. because it's that time of the year as well. So there's a lot of very different emotions in him.
Yeah, maybe Rochella has actually become a. He was the Molgolm are like almost like, it sounds like from the way it's written that they're almost like orthodoxically religious, kind of. Maybe he's become he's like suddenly become more like, I should be back on Nazadrun. I don't care about the stars. Yeah, I don't know. You're not happy to be here.
So yeah. Oh, go
Sorry,
ahead.
I think Gix is actually, because he's a Tremolin, is actually less observant of other people's personalities as one might think, and so really doesn't notice that people have changed too much. But he is looking out and recognizing that they're in a different part of Narm, and maybe this is a time where he would reach back out to Exalted Nestweaver and ask what she's doing all the way out here.
Sure. You feel your like tattoo glowing. You feel it glowing. You feel something. Everyone else sees it glowing. And it's I think this is always going to be somewhat uncomfortable because but she's like sort of not quite perplexed, but oh, I see you don't understand what we're doing here, Gix. I kind of thought you would, but this is the next stage. Look at my my expansion. Like, is this not the most beautiful thing you've ever seen? You know, sort of tell me how great I am. The kind of tone.
Yeah. Okay. You truly are mighty and powerful. I didn't know it was possible to do such wondrous things, to explore this deep into the arm and to be in so many places at one time. Your purpose is, likely unfathomable to someone such as myself, but I would be honored to share in this knowledge. But if there's any purpose, but if he just gets the sense that the purpose is like being cool and bigger and the part of the next part of the plan or whatever, maybe that's all he needs to know.
Yeah. Well, okay. I think another thing that you can glean, and I just get this for free, but is that like, so you saw Alex Normal Human taking up their totally normal human antennae and talking to Exalted Nestweaver. You've seen in the past that Exalted Nestweaver has manipulated Waitons, puppeted any voidminer. She's used a lot of used a lot of hell science powers on voidminers, and two, has been a little bit more malicious in the past. It seems like she's no longer acting that way, although she is like, Gix, worship me or whatever. But so I think you would get the sense that like she went from being the size of I can't remember what we said in the beginning. No. Well, in the beginning, let's call it Manhattan. And then has grown every time you've seen her, and now she, like the last time, she's the size of a country, and now she seems to be in two places at once. So it's sort of like this consciousness that was kind of calling out to individuals is no longer really kind of looking on that level. because she's the size of Madagascar, but also in 2 places. So she's got a lot going on, and so in some ways more of a danger, in some ways less, maybe.
Okay.
Does that answer your question, or is that just too much?
I mean, it's about as clear as most of Ernest Mistweaver's answers to the question. So,
I think to some degree, right, her perspective is shifting, and so what you might have interpreted her plan as previously, it seems like maybe that's shifting, or maybe that was always the plan, but you couldn't really catch on before. But like all of this has something to do, like it goes back to some like religious fervor of like finding the origin of Waitanity, like but before any like Waitan diaspora brought Waitans to many worlds. There's a religious cult of shining sky climbers on Kalayat that believe that Narm, they don't know what that is, holds the origin of Waitans,
right.
And so something about Exalted Neftsweaver's like early plans, like before she expanded so rapidly, maybe lined up with that in a like more analogous way, and now it's like taking that to some extreme or in some extreme direction, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. The search is taking them to strange places. Gotcha. I understood.
Mm-hmm. That's a good way of making it more concise.
Just making sure I understood. But I guess Gix is not hearing anything that changes the mission, really. But the people whose personalities have been inverted might have a different perspective.
Listen, compared to what you see when you're getting trained as a tremulant, so what? They rotated on their 5th axis, and their personalities are a little. They're presenting a different face, whatever. It's all the same stuff. Just normal.
When you rotate on your 7th axis, then you call me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be the real problem.
Yeah.
Okay, but it seems like we're trying to press on, and maybe it just takes a little bit of coaxing from Cecil and Gix, who have not had their personalities shifted, to sort of get everyone on track. But we're trying to move towards Night Mother, if I'm interpreting everything correctly. Yeah. Great. Yeah,
I don't. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just to say, I don't think that we really have any obstacles in the way of that, but there's a chance that the sort of dimensions overlap in a different way as you progress. So we could roll randomly for that. But Laura, what was your question? Or
I think that Alex just strides on, chanting like Ur-Wetanoid songs that sound very patriotic at a much higher volume than necessary, I think. But so he kind of disappears into the Gumatic / and Chitin Tur, if I said everything correctly, the puns. And yep, just does his thing.
Excellent. So, Jesse, how do you want to sort of mechanicalize this? Should I just do a random roll of like, does something change before they get there? Or should we just jump to, we're trying to break into Night Mother? Yeah.
Okay, everyone, you see, you feel, you sense as you're going up towards Night Mother, a very like a prickling of your, the back of your neck or analogous body part, and this very unnerving sense of being watched. And even though you don't see anything, you don't see any physical changes in this place around you, but you feel as though you're being kind of squeezed, like the pressure is changing, and you're as you know, it's as though there are eyes everywhere, and they are focusing on you so intently that it feels like a physical weight.
Is this sensation similar to tacking at all? I know that I'm trying to remember back to listening to Float. This character I haven't tacked with in game yet, but I remember back in Float City, was it you go through like the far bays, it really like squeezes you or something like that?
It's an interesting question. I mean, I think it feels more like I mean, maybe but it's more like like a panic, like something's watching you.
It's like a psychological impression that we're getting.
Yes, it's a physical sensation coming from a psychological impression that you cannot see.
Like being in a jungle and there's a bunch of predators around you, but you can't see them. You just know they're there.
It's hitting our lizard brains.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Crazy. All right. So I think I'd like to have everybody just roll will. And higher is worse right now. We're doing wacky shit. Meanwhile, we've gotten up the spire close enough to Night Mother that
I'd like to shift gears.
Okay.
Can I do that?
Yeah, let's go for it.
I'm switching my D4 combat for my D12 will.
There we go. As everybody's making rolls, you're getting near Night Mother, and
that one. I am in control.
Amazing.
Or not.
Like bioarchitecture, you're basically like walking up to what looks like a window, but there's a couple of like bookcases toppled over, but everything is made out of weight and body parts. And you walk up they're not bookcases, but that's what it kind of looks like. And you go through this window, and it's just a like smooth black tube with very like microscopic almost wrinkles in its surface, and you walk down. It's larger than any of your bodies, but feels still claustrophobic a little bit as you walk down this gangplank to Night Mother. Everyone who rolled over, let's see, it looks like did I get everybody? I think it's just Hans and Cecil and Alex that can't stop looking at the eyes, and you get distracted and you like stop walking down the tube, and you're like looking for whatever is looking at you, and you can't focus, so you're gonna have disadvantage. Everybody else is just oblivious for a little bit. They're like, oh, they get that feeling, they have that like psychological pressure, and then they're reminded of their goal, and they walk into the gangplank to Night Mother. For now, Cecil and Alex are going to have disadvantage on all rolls. When you get to the other side of the gangplank, that smooth stone with very small wrinkles, the wrinkles are bigger. They're doing something that when you like sort of put your hand near it, you can't ever cross the distance all the way to the surface of Night Mother. They're doing something, the like wrinkles, the geometry, the physical arrangement of the atoms makes it impossible to cross the distance. But you can sort of get it to respond to you, and it's going to be a very difficult. So 9+ reason to use tech check to interface to sort of get Night Mother to do anything. Right now, you're in like the end of a sort of large hallway that makes you feel claustrophobic, but it just ends on this smooth but wrinkled, in a contradictory way, surface of Night Mother.
Just a quick question. I may have forgotten it, but how deep into Night Mother do we actually need to place the beacon?
Not very. Basically wasn't clear. Just says make sure it's not discovered. Yeah.
So we just gotta find a cabinet somewhere and just kind of chuck it in there.
Yeah, there you go. And then Laura, was that a use tech check?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I tried.
Yeah.
Anyone
Oh,
else
that's
jump in?
Even with Alex's
reason.
totally normal human bangs, they're not able to have an advantage or something on using the Night Mother.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. I think that you might have some advantage in this situation. Is it straight advantage? But you also have disadvantage from
exactly
being distracted by the eyes. So,
but I still have a bonus on +4 on rolls because of the chemoelectric unexplainable thing. But yeah, that's my that was my lowest roll because I roll with a disadvantage.
Can I
that a-
impatiently shove them to the side and be like, let me do this? I swear these non-lacanoids can't do anything right.
Oh yeah.
Let's see.
Right. Alex definitely does have that +4 on Bug Stratum Archaea tech rolls. But Rotella, you're gonna give it a shot too?
Yeah. If I'm not patient now, so oh, I didn't put the D in D10. I rolled a 9 on the 10.
Yeah. All right. Somehow Rotella's incurious attitude makes it easier for him to sort of overlook the complexity of the situation, and you're able to interface just enough
get
to
it.
get it to open a door. You're learning to work on instinct like you saw Alex do before.
Yeah.
And you pop the door open, and inside it just looks like sort of a cluttered like tool chest or tool closet almost. A bunch of stuff kind of everywhere. And you file in. All 5 of you take up the whole room, basically. It's just a sort of a walk-through closet with shelves everywhere that aren't doors.
So the only door is the one we just came in through?
There's a door on the opposite end too. It's sort of like you could almost think of it as an airlock, although it isn't doing the like air pressure exchange.
So we just hide it here.
I think maybe not here, because it's just shelving, right? It would be pretty conspicuous considering everything else is beaten tech, right?
I can
agree.
I can use copy to like create the shelf to hide it behind, like a false bottom or something.
That could be good, yeah. Actually, can we take a moment to look around and see if there's anything in the room that's roughly the same size that we could replace it and then disguise it as that object?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's just a sort of will to perceive check of just like, clock in the room and see if there's something that like you can swap it out.
I would look, but I don't think it would go well for me. Does anyone else have a decent will score that might
like
wanna look
offer
around?
that suggestion to the group?
I'm a bit nearsighted myself, but if anyone else wants to look around.
I got a 7 on perceive.
Excellent. 7 is going to find you something, roughly equivalent, flat but greebled, and you can sort of swap it out if you want. What exactly you have now, you don't know, but maybe we'll find out someday.
Yeah, can we look at some of the tech in here and try to decipher what it is? Maybe I pick up a random piece of tech. I'm always looking for Threnodian polyphonizer adjacent tech. So,
yeah. I don't know that there's a way for you to like glean the use of any of these things. But there's like, a whole array of like, maybe there's like 6 of the same thing lined up against a wall next to each other below one of the shelves. There's like a lot of the different tools in the room. If you kind of like infer that these seem to be like tools, this is like a tool shed kind of on the exterior of Night Mother, maybe. Have the like telltale bug tech, like pheromone exchangers or whatever, like to get to use them, that kind of thing. But exactly what they do, they're just so unfamiliar. So if you want to jack something and or just lift something and get somebody to jack it later, then maybe you could learn how to use it.
Well, okay. I think Gix wants to take something. I think he's curious if his new tattoo gives him bug tech powers.
So
I
okay.
he wants to
I love that idea.
With this, maybe somewhere. So he'll probably grab something inconspicuously shaped. Or not too large, but something to take back with him.
But something maybe bigger than the device we have to plant, so I can make a copy to hide it in.
Oh,
yeah, I think that's separate a little bit from what I'm doing. But yeah, I think we found a box or.
But if we take something away and replace it with something that's the least conspicuous, I think.
Are you able to use like your nanites to transform something to like disguise it?
Use my blood to construct a facsimile of an object out of the ambient dust around us.
It's all coming together.
Fantastic.
Like you've done this before.
Yeah. This one, no. First time use for that power. But I would need to know its mass and complexity to know the cost for me.
I think that the complexity of the objects in this room are 2 to 3 mostly. Some of them are just 1, and you could find sort of a whole range. This is just like littered with archaeotech. This whoever uses Night Mother, if assuming some motile sapient sort of lives here, they've got such like unfettered access to really complex technology that is sort of beyond your ability to use. So you could just grab something that is, why don't you roll D3, and that object is, just a little bit bigger than the disambiguator, and you can, make a copy and plant the disambiguator inside of it.
Okay, so roll the 1. So that medium mass, tech complexity 1, something like that. Okay, so I'll burn 3 grit and make a copy of the thing.
Yeah.
Assuming that I can make a not identical copy, so that it has a place to hide the device. All right. And I neatly place it where I took the other one. But to be clear, this is the thing that Gigs took, or something separate?
I think something separate.
Yeah.
All right. Then I'll have then I also have a something to take away with me.
Cool. All right. It's been a few dozen seconds, maybe a couple of minutes, and the door on the other side of this sort of hallway tool shed slams open, and 2 chitinauts run in. They are not happy that you are here. So we're gonna roll initiative, and yeah, we're gonna see how this goes. Let me pull up my encounter.
Am I still at a disadvantage? I guess so, even for initiative. I mean,
Yes, I believe you are still at
Good.
disadvantage.
Yeah, it's a 4 out of 8 for me.
Finally rolled something other than a D4 and immediately rolled a 1.
Seeing the numbers come up, I don't know if that's, I don't think you're alone.
Okay. So, I guess I should write these down in order. That would help me keep track. Okay, so Cecil is going to go first.
Hey, can you describe the chitinauts just quickly? They're just little bug guys.
They are, not quite as big as typical Waitons, but seem to have, roughly similar body plan, 6 limbs, but like the chitin maybe has different, differently constructed pigment. So it's darker or lighter in different ways. It's like the spiracles are built into like rows instead of like at specific joints or something like that. Like they're similar enough to Waitons that they're clearly distinct, but like maybe descended from a similar or a common ancestor, if that makes sense.
And just to check, we know they're not friendly from previous encounters.
Right. As well. So the report that you have that has reference to these chitinauts, they had a long conversation with a sort of avatar that Exalted Nestweaver built for the voidminers in a like amphitheater in the City of Scales. And then the voidminers went into Night Mother and were immediately attacked, sort of like you're being, by two chitinauts in inside Night Mother, who used the Hell Science to expel them.
And how many are there?
Two.
Oh,
Two.
Do they have heads? We encountered some headless Wetanoids. Last time we were here. These guys, they're not that, right?
They're not that. No.
These are not like Exalted Nestweavers, extra bodies.
No.
I assumed that's what those were.
Yeah, kind of like, Exalted Nestweaver was like using the bioarchitecture to make, like a motile defender. I don't know exactly how to put
empty
it. But
skins that she could pilot.
Yeah,
or
kind of
drones,
like that.
if you would.
Drones. That's exactly it. Except they're unified with her city body and not, like differentiated individuals. These, as far as you can tell, are distinct individuals. Anyway, Cecil is up first. So you've just taken something and replaced it with the disambiguator.
Right. So they seem to be attacking us, but have not attacked yet. So I'm not going to start with lethal force. I'm going to use daze to stun the first one. Just enters the room. They enter the room. I knock the first one on the head with the butt of my rifle, or at least I'll try to. Rolling with disadvantage, I'll burn 3. The second one is a 1. Is that also like 1 means failure, or is this just purely numerical to hit?
This is just to hit, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So roll the 1 to hit, +2, +3. So it's 5. Sorry, 6.
6. Okay. And it's going to dodge. If I could type, it rolls a 1. So you hit. And it will be dazed, it's stunned, and suffers -2 to rolls the rest of the combat.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, but they are going to move next, and they move into the room in a way that indicates that they are just trying to get you out. They sort of chitter to each other in a way that reminds you of Rasp, something else is going on there. You know, in the sort of reflective way of you know, these are maybe descended from a common ancestor of Ur-Wetans, but it's not exactly RASP, not mutually intelligible, even a little bit. But they're clearly just talking to each other, sort of making a game plan, and they position both of their bodies in the room, which is, you know, mostly a hallway, and especially tight now that there are 7 people in this small room. So they look like they're trying to just sort of shepherd you out. And they make, you know, sort of aggressive movements towards you, but do not attack. So they're going to make a D move just to determine sort of how well they occupy the space. And then over the course of this and the next round, if they are, you know, good enough at this, there's no more space in this room, and you're kind of like pressed back out into the gangplank is their goal. So everybody else can make a dodge roll, essentially, just a like opposed D move, and try to beat. Let's see, one of them got an 8. And one of them got an 8. Oh, they both got an 8. How easy. Zevi, so Tyr got an 11. You're going to have no trouble foiling them. But yeah, let's keep going down the list.
I got a 5. Should have burned some grit. I would have made it 8. Although they're the aggressor, so meets it would not have beaten it.
Yeah,
So,
you would need to have.
I'm glad I didn't burn the grit.
There you go.
Oh, I got an 8. I'm like, oh, it's awesome. But I guess it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Okay, but next up is Alex. So let's see. Only Tyr is able to sort of resist this sort of press from the 2 kite knots.
It's my big ol' unhuman height and extra arms.
Oh yeah.
And an exosuit, yeah.
Oh yeah, and
Yep,
the exosuit.
and I've got the exosuit on. I'm big and strong.
All right, Alex.
Can I use smooth over, but reverse it? I do not really want to diffuse the situation so much as I want to humiliate them because they're not as good weapons as I am. So basically, my insult is going to go around the fact that they look like locusts, but that their thorax smell like they were still nymphs. And that's the reason.
You froze.
Oh, shoot, sorry. But they don't look like us. Going to burn 9 grit to get this going. And I'm not very good at charisma, but...
So you're just burning... you're burning 9 for boost, right? To add to charm?
I think I can only burn 7 for near impossible... near impossible task. So yeah, I'm only going to burn 7, but
okay,
yeah, I'm
got it.
To roll charisma, but at a disadvantage.
Your intention with this is still the effect of smooth over, but you are negging them. Is that my understanding?
I think that's what I'm getting. Okay.
Yeah. Call it.
Oh, I rolled a 5, which is good for Alex.
Yeah, but not a success. You're looking for difficulty 7. So if you fail, roll another charm check. Success on this one means you haven't made the situation worse.
Oh, wow. I did actually make the situation way worse because I rolled a 1.
Oh no.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm not ugly. You're ugly.
But they can't understand you, right? So
Yeah, no.
anyway, it's the aggressive stance. It's the clearly you're bullying them, but they don't understand what you're saying.
I think the mime of the nymph, or whichever developmental state of weapons when they are small, gets really lost when I try to mime it, and they think maybe I'm the baby, so it's weird.
Okay, they are much more aggressive now, and I think you see them each put one hand, one limb on a mysterious tool at their strapped to their body someplace, and more than the sort of press out of the room, you think that they'll probably start doing something much more dangerous next round. But Roach is going to go next. You're muted.
Can I take a quick visual kind of inventory of what's around me and what might look, I don't know, dangerous? Am I able to like roll anything to like, or would it be like a reason check to investigate? Like you said, it's littered with archaea tech. Is any of it destructive?
So you, before the Kite Knots barged in, you were able to kind of like get a lay of the land and basically understand that you wouldn't know how to use any of the archaea tech here, or really even determine its purpose on a glance. It's all very alien. But you could also just find something heavy and throw at their head. That could be effective in that way.
Now earlier I said that I was using switch gears to like mechanically make my personality swap like manifest. That can only last as many turns normally as I have in levels. I can burn the grid again, or we can say that's an ongoing effect that my will swapped with my combat score. I'm willing to do whatever, but if I'm going to combat them, I am going to need to burn some more grit to if this is not a long-term condition of mine, I'm going to need to activate that ability again.
So what do you think, Jesse? Should he burn again?
Burn the grit. But
all right,
I don't know. Switch gears is a free action, right?
It is a free action.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm just going to burn the grit to keep being unreasonable, but also better at shooting things. And this time I'm actually going to swap my reason for my so I'm just gonna shoot one of them. I'm gonna draw my gun and shoot him with my magnum.
Meanwhile, could I, as a free action, just communicate to the rest of the team, like, hey, we're probably going to beat them, so I'm not telling you what to do, but I think we could also just leave, because I think we did what we wanted to.
Oh, yeah.
Right there.
Yeah. Chatter is totally free. All of this is sort of like overlapping at the same time. So if you want to just say, I mean, we did it, no need to fight, then
you know what, that is okay.
Is there any chance the Chitinauts can hear us say that we did it and would, understand
us
that we messed with something?
You can't understand their speech, right? It has like characteristics that seem similar to Rasp, but it's not the same language in any way. But maybe they have some tech that would let them understand spin. You don't really know.
Yeah, so Cecil sees my hand going where my hand's going, and it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm like, what? And fine, I guess I won't shoot them in their stupid bug faces. It's directly to them, and I'm just gonna like turn around and walk back towards the door, like, whatever. I don't even want to be here. And I'm just gonna I'm just gonna like arms up and walk towards the door. Um, and I guess that's my action is to performatively and loudly just disengage from the situation and move to leave.
Yeah, there you go. I think you easily make it out of the room. It's very small. It doesn't take, even 5 meters of movement to get outside. Great. Then Gix and Tyr are
Oh.
both on 1, I think, for
Wait.
initiative.
Can
Go
I
ahead.
can I still I still want to do something impatient, risky, because it's part of my current personality.
Hell yeah.
Can I stealthily steal something on my way out?
Yeah, give us a move check.
Pocket a small thing. I am gonna burn some grit on that one. So a D8 plus 3. And really just anything. I'm just being spiteful. I get a 5. I rolled a 2 on the dice plus 3, so I get a 5. And I swipe a small thing. Or,
Yeah.
It's the robot arms on my gray sensor. Just
yeah. You collected a sample.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. I think that it is very noticeable though. So yeah. But you got something. And I'll make a note of that, and we'll.
My hands are up, but my robot arms on my backpack are collecting samples, and then I leave. And if they want to follow me, and what are you gonna do about it? And that's Rochelle's turn. Sorry to
roll to not accidentally steal the thing containing the device.
That would be funny. So yeah, at least three items have been boosted from the tool shed here on Night Mother. But next, Gix and Tyr are both on 1 in initiative. So up to you who wants to go first.
Can I understand this as we've decided not to fight anyone right now?
Yeah. I think that's clear that like. Cecil said something, and then Roach kind of just like left, hands up. So,
okay,
that would make sense.
I'm gonna let Cameron go first because I want to check something really quick.
Cool.
Great. Gix is going to use corrupted psychoneurome to try to understand their purpose or what they are doing with Exalted Nestweaver. I think he's still interested in knowing his god's plan and what's going on there. So he'll just state something very straightforward, like, explain your purpose here.
And maybe could you read out that power?
Yeah, I'll drop it in the chat, but it's I guess they get a roll will. So I'll burn D6 grit and roll charisma to try to make psychic connection with one of them. And then I get to quickly read their thoughts or establish communication with them.
Pick the one I dazed. That one has -2 to all.
Well, let me roll first, I guess, because we'll contest each other. But I'll probably burn 3. So because I've got a lot of grit, and it seems like we're about to leave. D8 plus 3. So I rolled a 6 plus 3, so 9 against the target's will. Oh, and how much grit do I burn?
That means I should roll their will. 1 second.
And I burn 6 grit. Right.
I got a 10. Max on my die.
Okay, so I just get a headache and burn some grit.
Yeah.
Great.
Sorry.
Good turn, everyone. Having failed that, he'll... Oh, gosh. I guess... move out with everyone else. Move backwards. I really want to see what's going on in the ship, though.
Okay. Then I think we go to Tyr.
Yes, seeing that everyone else is moving out, despite his previous lust for violence, I'm now much more peaceful and calm. So I'm, slowly backing up as they're pushing me out, hands up, 2 of them at least. The other 2 are going for the weapon on their waist just to kind of see if I can grab it. And I did roll a 3 for that, unfortunately. And they get a D-will check to notice that I went for their weapon.
Great. I'll roll that again. Here we go.
And you only need to beat a 3?
It's not looking good.
I did roll a 7.
I put the other pair of hands up too.
But I believe you got it. You've just been noticed. So.
Well, that is unlucky.
Yeah. Okay. Back to the top of initiative here is Cecil. And I think that it's just Cecil and Alex that are still inside. Everybody else kind of left. Is that right? Cool. So, Cecil, what do you want to get up to?
I am hesitating. Either I also just leave, or I also try to daze the second one to give us an advantage for if they keep attacking in a retreat. But they seem to... Well, anyway.
Oh.
I'll roll to decide.
Yeah. So that reminds me that I did not subtract 2. And I guess I would assume that Gix is trying to target the one that was dazed. So maybe we go back to that after you try to daze the second one.
I think you rolled a 10, which is higher, which even 8 was higher, I think. Then
I rolled a 9, so a -2.
Oh, yeah. So it wouldn't make difference. Okay. Anyway, I'll just even and I retreat. And it's even, so I also just walk out.
Okay. So yeah, everybody's trying to leave. But Gix, your headache, you thought you failed, but then you start to get the waves of psychic thought. Maybe the
stun just came over the connection for a moment. You got their stun.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit delayed. And then, okay, so Jesse, feel free to embellish or add to anything that I'm going to say. But you get the picture that they're trying to kick you off a Night Mother, right? This is supposed to be something that's they're in and out. They do their thing. They're just they've established the connection, whatever. Exalted Nestweaver called them there, and they did their job, and they keep getting invaded by somebody else, and it's what a bother. And they keep stealing their stuff, and it's ugh, this is annoying. But also they don't want to kill any of you. Like these suddenly are aggressive, and they're gonna, maybe sort of lay suppressive fire because of the definitely a human waving, miming infants. Like, what's going on here? So they're like pretty annoyed, basically, is what you're getting. And but you get like the picture that they're like, they kind of, like they're ultra powerful Ur-Wetanoid descendants that are just like, they live in Narm on Night Mother, and they're here to sort of like answer Exalted Nestweaver's page.
Yeah, I think it's almost like it's like a sacred task that they've been engaged in, and for centuries, no, as far as you know from co-reports, which could be wrong, it seems like Night Mother has not been active. So this is like a surprise, for one thing, to find people on it, and they seem to be related to whatever is going on with Exalted Nestweaver, which is you're learning more about. But yeah, they're. But I think they're sort of surprised and annoyed.
Okay. It's like if a dog got in your car and you're like, that's not your dog. You're like, okay, we need to get this dog out of here. You don't have any ill will against the dog.
Yeah, that's pretty much right.
The dog broke into your car and stole your fast food. You're like, what the fuck, man? Oh, is this a no cursing?
And left a homing beacon. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess the next turn in initiative order is the Chitinauts, but they've kind of succeeded in pushing everyone except Alex out. But Alex also is bullying them, so I think one of them is going to make an attack roll, and then we'll move to Alex after that. So I think, yeah, we'll go with the dazed one. Still, like, this doesn't have to be super dangerous, but of the two, this one's just like on edge at the moment. So it's going to lash out with just a bludgeoning weapon and try to strike Alex's leg, essentially. Oops. I'll mind myself. Yep. All right. So Alex, if you'd like to dodge, beat a 9. Nope, sorry, 7, because this is the dazed one.
Okay, I will try and dodge, but I have such a wonderful idea for what is to come. Once again, I roll with it is at a disadvantage, right?
Yeah, you're something about being watched or like being observed. You don't really know. Someone is judging you for how you're doing this, and you feel distracted.
I rolled a 6.
What a good roll on disadvantage, though. But you are struck, and you're going to take 1 damage.
Well, I have my crystalline skin, surprisingly, reduces damage for 3 points, so I'm good.
You're good.
Right? That's nice. Is the second one trying to hit me too, or should I unleash my...
No, it's going to go to your turn. Yeah, they're just sort of advancing through the room together to push you out. Yeah. So after your initiative, they're basically just going to have pushed you out into the gangway. But it's your turn.
I mean, I'm not going to resist much longer, and I now want to experiment with another technique. So I'm starting to dance suggestively for a weapon, asking them the question, how's your brood mother's juice bottle? But at the same time, that's the beginning of conducting a mating ritual with a family member, which is not the brood mother, actually. It's very complicated, but this is like the very first step of this whole thing, and maybe they will pick up on that, because I think that, meeting people and mating is part of thing that maybe other types of bug people understand. But I want to daze them with my randomness.
Are you using a power?
Yeah, I'm using the conduct ritual power. I'm sorry, I'm trying to copy the text right now.
Yeah, I think conduct ritual takes an hour, though, right?
Oh, I think, doesn't it depend on the power?
Oh, yeah, standard hour day. Okay, so yeah, oh, gotcha. Everyone involved except you gains 2x grit. Okay. I had no idea where you were going with that. This is delightful. I love Alex's twist on being a witness.
I'm trying, obviously, to wiggle my way out of the room.
Yeah, sounds good. But everybody else, I think maybe Kite Knots included, are going to gain some grit. Great. Okay, so yeah, unless I have misinterpreted anything, I think everybody is out, at least on the gangway, no longer in Night Mother, and the Kite Knots just sort of like brandishing weapons. They're like, get out of here, and they seal the door again. And I think that the space here, as you leave the gangway, is different again. Jesse, what's different about Narm's dimensions as they leave? So no longer is it eyes, but now we're somehow different.
Yeah. So you're leaving Night Mother, and as you leave, it's like you went in one door but out the other, but you didn't think you did. And I want everybody to give me like the first thought that your character that pops into your head. Just any stupid thought. What is your character thinking right now?
Carrots.
Carrots. Great.
The song Pony by Genuine, but a very badly ripped version of it.
I'd rather be on acid room.
Cool.
Gix wants to know if he should turn invisible and jump onto the ship.
Okay.
And see some things. I should have dazed the second one.
I'm going to call that regret. So you're walking. Okay, finally, we planted it. We succeeded. You're thinking about whatever is popping into your head. And then these structures start coming into focus. One of them looks like a pony, but a bad version of a pony. And it's sort of the size of of Alex normal human, and you're sad to see it has Wetanoid features as a pony, and it's sort of as each of you. As your thoughts are playing out, just like the first thing that comes to your mind, you're embarrassed. You're very embarrassed to see these pop up. Nazadrun, I mean, whatever is kind of. I think you Roach would feel sad seeing whatever.
Homesick.
Yeah, whatever they're really like thinking about when Nazadrun comes to mind.
Whatever the opposite of wanderlust is.
Yeah. And a bunch of vegetables come up, and they're just sort of, all of these things are bumping around. They don't seem to be, they're just sort of crowding your space. They're not really attacking you, but you sort of have to get around them. And as this is happening, this odd thing that's maybe just sort of a distraction at the moment, sort of chunks of something large-ish, maybe I don't know, a meter in diameter, are coming at you as well. And then these things are kind of getting in your way. So you're having to move around them, and also something's coming at you. And everybody, these things are coming at you fast. I think we just have to like have a move check, unless you want to do something clever.
Oh, you said a move check unless you want to do something.
Unless you have a power that you want to use,
Yeah.
But otherwise, that they're clearly coming at you fast. These are dangerous. These are big and heavy stones, basically.
Oh, would this count as a move check to run from danger?
Yeah, it's a dodge.
Hell yeah.
Actually,
Oh, go ahead.
Really quick, would I be able to use my missiles power on my exosuit to deflect one of them?
I think that's fine. I think that could work. There are a few coming at you, so you may have to do more dodges. But I think that's
So I just
fine.
work on the dodges. I'll just do the dodges then if there's multiple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that this, like, the sort of, you could call it like city street style of like architecture inside this spire maybe is what's nearby. And it's just like full of stuff. Some of them are these sort of lumpy projections of your thoughts, and some of them are like hurling, lumps of matter. I think it's going to require either that you like shoot one each round with your missiles, or make dodge checks to sort of avoid them. As long as we're here, if that's the right interpretation, Jesse.
Yeah, it's sort of a couple of things are going on, seemingly unrelated, but kind of making it harder to do both.
Gotcha.
All right, so I rolled an 8. I burned 3 grit, and I have advantage on move checks to run from danger. I took the Ulk Diver. I've been doing a lot of running from danger. Like my kind of like MO. I don't think Roach typically engages with fights when he's his normal self.
Narm is a dangerous place. Sometimes it's good to run. But it looks like everybody else did not succeed at this move check. So everybody except for Roach, you're going to start. We're going to roll initiative, or keep running. We can keep running, but they're going to start attacking you. And as long as you're going to start suffering damage and bleed whenever you're near them. So these are going to keep kind of like pinging at you.
Is it so? Gix was going to use bend space, which allows him to teleblink a short distance away, up to, I don't know, say 20 meters or something. Would that get out of the area where this is happening, or?
Yes, as far as you know.
As far as I know. Okay, I'll just do that instead of the move thing. So,
Unless the space is following you, which maybe that's what's happening. I don't know.
Gix closes his eyes, focuses, and glows kind of orange and green, and everyone sees him disappear, but then reappear later, farther down the passageway. He kind of waves.
Okay. So everybody else, I think, so the question is, do you want to keep making a move check? Do you want to fight these things? Like, you can keep moving to run away. I'm making it, like, for now, a standard move. If they start, once damage starts happening, it might become more difficult.
So are they just going to keep following us if we run?
Right now, what you know is there are big rocks, and they are definitely attacking you.
I have something, maybe. I'm trying to find a cue as to how to deactivate them as a power for my witness. And that's pretty much what I want to do is deactivate their following us.
Can you read out how that power works for the stream, and so that I can assess
Sure.
if it's gonna make sense of this?
You find something genuinely useful plot-wise. You can find a cue towards whichever plot you want, but you should make your choice clear to the GM. It's clue specific. You don't necessarily understand the bigger picture, but you know what you need to do next.
I have an idea, Jesse. If yeah,
go for
it. So Alex's clue is to dance. Pony, right? You've got to dance with what's happening here. Is that all right, Jesse?
Sure.
So can I start dancing right away and singing what I remember from this poorly encoded song? Or is this going to come up later at...
I don't remember the timing of Find Clue, but I think it's pretty quick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Standard action. Yeah, so I guess following the following round, you can start doing that.
Perfect.
You can't use your movement to shake it.
I hope not, because if I throw dice, I'm at a disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
So if I sing the song the way I remember it, it's going to be perfect.
Oh, I think that the disadvantage, you're released from disadvantage because it's no longer eyes, right, Jesse?
Oh yeah, yes, you've entered into a new space. Yeah, I mean, into space.
Right. Enormous quotation marks around absolutely every word because this is just nonsense. Excellent. Okay, so yeah, we're progressing, right?
Progressing. Sorry, just joking. Yes. Great. what's everybody else doing?
Are we in initiative?
So,
Or
the way I'm playing this right now is you can keep running. They're not like, if you want to attack them, we're gonna all enter initiative. If you want to keep trying to make move checks, you're gonna start taking damage if you don't make the check. But from what you can tell, they're not too. They're just aiming at you. We'll say that.
Just gonna keep running.
I think Tyr's also gonna run.
I'm gone from having a healthy detachment to not caring. Actually, wait. We were released from disadvantage from lack of eyes. Are we still personality flipped? Is that wearing off?
Excellent question. Let me pull that up again. I don't think so. I think that was a thing that happened, and that was an event and not a space. Is that okay?
So that is persistent?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Unless Jesse disagrees with me.
I think that makes sense. I mean, you're still this isn't going to be like a permanent change to your character that we're going to force on you for ventures to come. But
it's a role-playing challenge, basically.
Yeah.
You're not really in the space that you thought you were, so you're still going to have that effect. Okay, so let's just have one more move check to see if you get out of these guys' way, and I'm going to roll against you for the swarm. And I got a 3. So you just have to beat a 3.
Beat a 3.
While you're all dodging, Gix is inspecting the wall, kind of interested in what's going on this side. You know, just seeing what's going on.
Okay, well, that was I guess you can run away from these. They might be around though, so I think this is kind of a danger that as you're in this space is going to continue. So you kind of need to keep moving.
I think you could mark this area on what passes for your map, Roach.
Yeah, what's the map look like, Roach? I'm sure it's incredible.
I'm not sure if he kept making. I don't think it makes sense for him to have kept making the map after having his personality switch. I don't think he's that fastidious. So I think it abruptly stopped being made at that point, or it's being made in a much less careful manner. I don't know. It's strange. He's got to work out some stuff. We'll have to meditate on this or something. I don't know.
Needs a bit of therapy, perhaps.
Yeah. We're fleeing back to Nettleshield, right? That's what we're doing? Down the spire, back the way we came?
Yeah, up to you.
I assume.
Right. And I think that the sort of hurling objects continue to hurl, towards you, basically, or maybe from your perspective, everything is towards you, and it doesn't seem like maybe they're like doing this with any animus towards you, but maybe you're just in the path. Hard to tell, right? Perspective is strange sometimes, but especially when there's so many dimensions. But you've kind of like gotten the rhythm of the movement, and you're able to not take damage constantly, even though these things are happening all around you. When you turn a corner and there's a diminutive like humanoid in drippy black like mess. It's like wearing it like clothing, but it's just made of oil slick. And G speaks up just with a sort of croaky voice. Hey, what are you guys up to? What'd you find? That's pretty good. Does that voice translate on the stream? Is that okay?
Is this a void elf? Using our distinct or extensive training, are we able to decipher what being this is?
This is a void elf, not one that you've encountered before, or any maybe. I think at least Cecil has had run-ins with void elves on Narm, but not this one.
Knowing what we know about void elves, how do we want to approach this? Don't think there's any good reason a void elf is anywhere near us.
Probably not any. Yeah, they're not here to help us, I'm sure. Now, I believe in Narm we've run into them a couple times, but I think we've tricked them into thinking we're having a party or something. I'm not really clear. I wasn't on those missions.
Cecil just going to say, yeah, good stuff in that direction where we came from.
Just send them right into the rock swarm. I think that's probably a great idea.
They're like croaking. Yeah, well, I mean, that's here, right? Back where you came from. I think that you're in the pocket. I don't know where we are, but this is good. I'm going to send people here. This is good. And you see them like sort of hastily scribbling on, flat object. And at the same time, Jesse, why don't you do what you're going to do? Something is happening to them that is not happening to you.
So you are seeing, as you're seeing this void elf who seems to be trying to play it cool, I guess. You're seeing it kind of flicker in and out, and behind it, there is like you're seeing it flicker, and there's just like the blackness of the stone of Narm right behind it, and then it flickers back, and there's this void elf talking to you, and then it flickers again, and then there are stars, and this humming sound. It seems like maybe this void elf is in danger. But it's not really telling you.
And whatever danger it's in doesn't seem to know that you're there at all. Is that fair to say?
Sounds great for us.
Doesn't seem
I don't think we need to be a hero here. We can probably just let this play out.
Yeah, is this some
starting
sort
to
of
get
strange
curious again.
trolley problem?
What's gonna happen to this
We-
void elf?
So do you just do nothing?
No, I'm not going to do anything.
We've said a little, and it's still talking. So any further communication is for the witness, I think.
It does not perceive us, right?
The void elf?
Or, yeah, the void elf.
The void elf does. It's talking to you, as far as you can tell. Although maybe it's talking to the lumps of, Wetanoid earth that represent vegetables and a pony and etc. But probably it's talking directly to you and not to your thoughts.
Because I was wondering if it were, like, if they were talking to us but not at the same time, like if they were in a different time capsule. So I'm trying to say when, maybe more than hey or something like this. Like try to assess if they're in the same temporal dimension as us.
I think that's a roll.
Yeah.
What should I roll? Reason, maybe?
Yeah, you could do reason. It probably makes the most sense. Unless you were like looking for clues. You wanted to roll will.
No, I think I only have the right to look for clues once. But
That's right.
would be much too easy. But
I
know.
Meanwhile, Jesse, can you roll to attack while I roll to dodge?
Yep.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
I'd like to get on the other side of this void elf, not between it and the. Just to keep going, kind of like rubbernecking as I'm going, though. Just like,
yeah. Okay. Jesse, I think you hit me because I rolled a 10. Did we both roll? Oh, got it. Okay, yeah. So something happens as Roach, you sort of, try to slide past in a way this croaking void elf. You see something happen to Gem. Jesse, tell me what that is. Meanwhile, it's gonna just like keep talking.
So as it's talking, something whips around at it, and you're gonna take a d20 damage. And anyone who's within 10 meters, it's going to start whipping around toward you. But first, you see this void elf get hit.
I have not been able to get away from this thing then.
I think it's going to be a move check for everybody else, right?
Yeah, you can all make a move check. It seems, though, that you're having a chat about this. There's a real danger happening. And I think the question of, like, is this happening in a different time is kind of answered as as this is threatening you in whatever time you are in.
Right.
Yeah, it's somewhat immaterial if it happens at a different time, if that time can also hurt you.
Okay, so Jesse, are you going to roll damage for me, or should I roll it?
Yeah, I can roll that, and I'm also going to roll. So here's the damage. So that's a 19.
Oh, okay. Good thing I'm wearing a witch suit, because that's going to convert from my grit instead. And then
that's a 13 on comm to everybody else. Or yeah.
For real? Oh my goodness. Okay. So
not the roll, but
yeah, but 13 to dodge is scary. Or trying to dodge 13. Okay, so in response to getting absolutely thrashed by tentacles, kind of. You're not sort of able to see very clearly, easily through all of the sort of chaos, like stuff moving around. Your like thoughts are still sort of exerting into 3 space as like moving statues, while stuff is flying around. But whipping out of layers of dimension, these whatever is attacking this void elf, and causing collateral damage to you. And the void elf sort of like puts both hands off, like holding the little flat object that they were tapping on, sort of like holds it off to the side and stretches it out, and like wraps it around themselves and says, "Step into my office. This is dangerous." So it's inviting you into a fold in dimensions that the thing that's attacking it can't see. So after everyone makes a dodge, if you'd like to go into this pocket, you can go over there and talk to this void elf.
I think we've got pretty good chances if it's a trap, considering the void elf did just take 19 damage.
Yeah.
Like,
I
I
don't.
think that might be useful.
Yeah, I don't think Rochelle is. I think he just wants to get away from the void elf. By the way, what damage did we take? I only rolled 10 on my move. You said we needed to roll at least 13 to dodge.
Yeah.
Jesse, yeah.
Sorry. I didn't see everybody's.
I should have burned more grit.
I'm kind of treating this. Well, I could make 5 damage rolls, but maybe just everybody take the same amount minus your damage reduction.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I was going to suggest maybe it's just like a flat amount of damage each turn. It's kind of like a bleed effect or something like that, so that it's not something that we have to track.
Yeah. But it can, so it's that everyone takes 13 if they didn't dodge.
13?
13.
If we did not roll 13, we take 13.
Holy crap.
Just happens to be.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That does more than half of my health. Does that? Oh, I have a little bit of damage reduction. Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna need
That's
it.
a kinetic attack, right? I have,
Is that for damage reduction?
yeah, I have the nanofluidics power hard, which only applies to kinetic/slow attacks, which I take to mean like most,
Yeah.
non-ranged weapon.
This is not So that'll apply.
So I currently have a ridiculous damage reduction equal to my level +2. So I only take 2 damage.
By the way, if I appear to die, just make sure you pick up my body, because I'm a little bit harder to kill than I look. I am very nearly incapacitated, though.
So chill. I like this, Roach.
I am in a great deal of pain.
So all this stuff is in our sense that Exalted Nestweaver is doing this, or is this just there's something about space inside the spire, which is the City of Scales, but there's something, the space is doing it itself, right?
Yeah, I'm just gonna there's no reason you would have to think that Exalted Nestweaver is doing this. at
Right.
least intentionally.
Shortest answer, it's this part of Narm.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right. Yeah, it's not the city. It's not Exalted Nestweaver.
I don't know about everyone else, but I can't take another round of this, so maybe we go with the Void Elf for now, just in case.
Am I at the beginning of my dance?
Yeah, I think you're dancing. So you're able to sort of vibe with the things that were happening before you saw the Void Elf, but the tentacles, the thing attacking the Void Elf, is separate.
They're not vibe. Like the tentacles are not responding to
your dance.
To the dance or to the song itself because I'm grooving. No? Okay.
No.
Well,
It's a good groove, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the lyrics I got were about a badger. I wrote them down. If you want, I will put them in my log.
Fantastic.
Yes, please.
Excellent.
Cecil, can you find us a path? Like,
yeah. How much? Yeah. Does the map tell us how much farther we have to go through crazy space?
Yeah.
Is there like a goomatic tube we can jump into?
Yeah, I could try to track another shortcut. So where are we now in initiative or?
We're not in initiative.
No
We're
initiative. It was basically like the Void Elf and the thing attacking it are in initiative, but sort of that happened and they I don't know.
The attack on the Void Elf swept you up in the damage because you were
okay. So so either we find a way to get out of here faster, or we find a way to deal with the damage. So,
or we go with the Void Elf, I guess is another option.
Yeah, or that's the third option. So this worked like 2 ventures ago. If I track the nettle shield, I might find the shortcut to the nettle shields.
I think you already know where Nettle Shield is, right? I think maybe last time it was like moving. It was like trying to find something with you. So you were like working with Nettle Shield to track something. I don't remember exactly the details.
Last time I found a shortcut to seek after they communicated that they were being attacked by tracking.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But
unless Jesse has ideas, I don't know how it would work.
I don't know that you can track Nettle Shield. I think we have a problem of where.
Yeah, we have other methods of, like Alex had some communication with, and Geeks had communication with the City of Scales. So I guess those are maybe better options to find a faster way to Nettle Shield.
Yeah, especially if I can both track with Cecil and use my knowledge of friends within the city.
Okay, so here's what sorry, I'm just thinking about this. So I think the problem that we have is you came on the Nettle Shield to the City of Scales where you expected the City of Scales to be. You came up to the Night Mother. You learned that Night Mother and City of Scales are now in two places. Now you're in the second place. And it's not clear that Nettle Shield is there. Or I think so. I think you would have to like have a more complicated way to track it. Does that make sense? Does that
You
sound
just
right,
need to
Ryan?
get back to the other side of the other dimension of the City of Scales. We need to think 7-dimensionally.
Well, so it's not exactly that it's in a different dimension. It's not exactly that it isn't, but it's
Right.
You're in a place in Narm that is like folding in a different way. And so but it is also farther in 3 space. And like there are
Right. It's like maybe this helps to explain it. You're in a city that's in 2 places, and if you were to leave the city, you'd have to be very careful to leave the city in the place where the Nettle Shield is instead of in the place where the Nettle Shield isn't. Maybe that didn't help.
And so the only way we know to do that is to go back the way we came, as far as we know.
As far as you know.
It's like primer.
Well, that just sounds like we need to get the frick away from this void elf.
Or talk to a void elf, as Jesse says.
Well, it sounds like this is happening centered around the void elf. So going closer to the void elf, to me, as a player, it's like a bad idea.
But it sounds like he has a way to escape immediate harm and maybe a way to get out. But also, maybe not.
I'd be very interested in understanding what he wants and what he's all about. But
Okay.
yeah, that's
so while
speaking.
y'all are talking, trying to like puzzle it out, you're not in immediate danger, right? You're like dancing with the things that are moving through the space, and out of the sort of non-space. What's the word I'm thinking of? Like curtain that the void elf drew to form their office. Just pops like a little stanchion with a sign at the top of it that basically just has a QR code, except it's more dimensions than 2. Maybe even poke their head out again and be like, so you're not coming? You're good there? And then like a tentacle whips and they're like, ah! And they pop back behind their curtain.
Let's go see what the void elf wants. I think Gix is interested almost in seeing like if this is a threat to ENW, even though that probably isn't something that she's too concerned with.
Just slapping Stimtonel packs on myself, I guess. Or strips.
I mean, what would Zeke do? Zeke would go for it, so I'm going for it.
Zeke's crazy.
I have an ability called Augur that allows me to ask a question.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just trying to see how much grit that costs, and I am getting kind of low. So it can burn 10 minus D reaction grit, minimum of 2, and 1 health, which I don't have a lot of right now. And I can
D reason. So yeah, the higher you roll, the less grit you have to burn, right?
Yes.
But it always burns at least 1 health and 2 grit.
Then at the end of the round, after everyone else in initiative has acted, the nameless things whom you contacted reply with the answer. This may be vague depending on the question, but will not be malicious, a lie, or incomplete. So while we were dallying, perhaps I can say that I have consulted the extra dimensional. Maybe I'm consulting with other aspects of myself. I'm getting in touch with those different me's. And I'm going to burn. I'm going to burn only 2 grit and 1
Nice.
health and ask if it is safer in. Say if the danger will follow us. Are we in more danger in that void elf's office, or just getting away from the void elf? Like, is the danger just right here at the void elf, or is it just keep walking? Don't engage with the dumb void elf.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can get the answer that the void elf is not dangerous. The space around the void elf is less dangerous than here, but also you've like figured out here, and if the void elf came out of that space, it would be more dangerous here. But like if you went where the void elf is, you'd be fine. And you wouldn't have to like keep dancing.
But if we just exit the space entirely, this tentacle is not interested in us. It is interested in the void elf.
Right. And then the space would change. So it would not be necessarily dangerous, but it would be similarly like chaotic. So maybe you kind of like, you feel a plot. You're like thinking through all of the possibilities. And it's like, if we leave the void elf, the danger is like steady. If we go towards the void elf, the danger goes down. But if the void elf comes towards us, the danger goes up.
But can the void elf even come towards us without getting attacked again? It seems like he's a little busy.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of pinned down.
I think another way to think about this is like what you saw was like a huge range of attacks that didn't seem to be really caring what it was hitting at the moment. Aside from it seemed to be like in a scuffle with this void elf, but you don't know if it's gonna like. It's a pretty unknown level.
It sounds like this is not our problem. Excuse me, can you open this goomatic tube? I need to get down. That's I feel like where Roach is at is just like, let's not engage. I am too tired. I am too old for this.
That is a good point. I'm really hurting. Just severe headache. Gix has a severe headache and cannot fathom the games of void elves at this time.
I said, Rochelle, when he pokes his head out to ask us if we're coming in, it's like, party's that way, my friend, and points back towards the Night Mother.
Yeah.
Ask them. They're more fun.
Cool.
Go get a hug from a rock. You ever hugged a rock? That rock wants a hug.
And as you indicate the rock, you see it like lumbering over to give you a hug. But maybe you died out of the way. So we are coming up on time. So this is a nice way to sort of wrap things up. It sounds like the party wants to backtrack as closely as they can so that they can find the place where Nettle Shield is and then go home to the go down. So there will be, sort of surprises along the way, but like you can manage to do that without dying. and the void elf goes about its business, and probably is in danger, but that's fine from your perspective. Is there anything else that anyone would like to accomplish or like examine, sort of as we go out on a little like montage of weird spaces before you get home? If not, I'll give you a little bit of insight into what the Void Elf is up to. They've, got this little curtain to make their office. They called it, that was kind of a joke, you might interpret. But it's looking around for like interesting places in Deep Narm. It set up a little like, museum plaque in the space where your thoughts were exerted into like 3-space physical reality that move around and want hugs, so that it can like send its patrons, the Void Elf, like it's anybody who would pay it to have an experience to this place so that they can get a hug from a rock. And it would like follow you around. Maybe it pops out once and gets whipped by a tentacle, and it's like, you guys keep finding all these cool places. Great job. But this is basically agnostic to any void miners. This void elf is just doing its own thing. You could have an interesting conversation with it some other time.
That void elf owes me money.
Yeah, and with that, eventually you get back to the Nettle Shield, and maybe he says something like, you guys disappeared for a long time. Like, I couldn't get in contact with you. Everything okay? And starts flying you back towards the go down. And eventually you get back, you have to file a report and go about your general Narm desk, living on the go down lifestyle.
With our personalities still switched around, right?
I think, Jesse, maybe when you get back to the green ring city of scales where the Nettle Shield is, maybe your personality reflips. I don't know.
Yeah, I have an opinion about this. I think that
Okay.
you're like mechanically the effect is no longer in effect when you're back away from these SRS like rips and folds that were causing this. But you also have the memory of this. So if Alex Normal Human wants to have changed their personality, you're free to do so.
Sure.
That's up to
I think
you.
this is something I can tap into when I want to be more violent in the future. Just step back into that mindset.
Does that mean that Nettle Shield is super happy to see Roach because they want to keep on talking with Roach, and Roach is like, I don't care about what you're telling. So now maybe you have made an enemy. That's sad. Oh, Nettle Shield.
Well, it's sad for everyone if Nettle Shield is even more closed off in the future. But
Roach is like, have you got a UV lamp on this thing? No? Okay. I'm going to just take a nap then. Please don't talk to me.
Then we have... Sorry.
Go ahead.
Just like the housekeeping, we have a few people who have some items that we will send. We'll figure out what those are and send over.
And I think on the go down, once he's alone in his whatever passes for a room or bunk there, Gix is going to explore it, like, I don't know, investigate his enhanced tattoo, I guess, in connection with E&W, and see if he can make more direct contact without needing the Threnodian polyphonizer, and maybe ask how he can be of further service going forward.
Great.
We love it. All right. Well, thank you all so much for playing. Thank you, any viewers, for watching. This little jaunt through so many dimensions, overlapping with one another, and some hints into what else Narm contains. Yeah, that's where we'll leave it. So thank you all once again, and happy holidays. We'll see you again in Narm in the new year.
Thanks so much, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.